Hi folks, welcome back to Cordisco's Corner. I'm going to make this final video concerning the presidential election coming up on Tuesday. It's something that I want to say that I think I should have said a long time ago. I'm not making this video because I think Donald Trump is going to lose, even though I am a Trump supporter. I'll say that up front. Or Joe Biden's going to lose. I want to appeal to the people out there that give a good damn about the future of the country. I guess in particular, I'm talking to the people that don't like Donald Trump, period. Period, end of story. They don't like the looks of him. They don't like the sounds of him. They don't like how he tweets. They don't like anything about him. They don't like how he dresses. They don't like his wife. They don't like his kids. They don't like his business. They don't like anything. There's nothing they like about Donald Trump. I want you to take a deep breath and think about this for a minute. The future of the country is definitely at stake. For those of you that are over 30, especially those of you that are over 40, you got an understanding of what America is, what it strives to be every day, and we get closer every day to an ideal that was set up with the founders. We know how far the country has come. We know how far it has to go. And we know what an unbelievably positive good the United States is on the world. And that's not an arrogance because I'm an American. It just happens to be a statement of fact just as much as the world is round. It's just whether you like it or not, or whether you agree with it or not, is immaterial. It's a statement of fact. It's just like gravity. It is what it is. And I want to appeal to those people out there that don't like Donald Trump to think about your children, your grandchildren, your friends' children and grandchildren, your community, your country, your state, your county. Pick any reason you want to. I truly and honestly believe, sincerely, that the future of the republic is seriously at stake. This is one of those crossroads moments that on the edge of a knife, and it can go either way, and that little tiny bet will determine how hundreds of millions of people will live in the next 30, 40, 50 years, and even billions worldwide for that matter. Because frankly, if America falls, when I say falls, our republic, the way we've done things forever, as far as our government setup goes, if that falls, I believe the world's in trouble. So I'm going to try to make my case for you voting for Donald Trump. If you can't vote for Donald Trump, if you just can't do it, no matter what the reason is, don't vote for Joe Biden. Vote for a third party. Write in your own name. Do whatever you have to do. But at least listen to me and I'm going to try to make the case for this year's election. Before I go further, I want you to look at the map. I was watching a Red Eagle Politics. It's a great channel. I'll leave a link in the description to it. And he and I actually agree on this map. So this is the map I'm going to use to make my case. This is how I think the electoral map is going to end up. The popular vote, well, if I knew that, I'd be in Vegas doing an act predicting the future, and I'd be a multi-billionaire. This is how I think it's going to go. I think it's going to be a hairline in a couple of the states, but I think this is the final result. So let's get past that. Why vote for Trump? Why is Trump here at this critical time in our history when we come to a fork in the road? And these forks come up for the United States and our republic all the time. All of the time. And so far, we've taken the wrong road, but we've always seemed to come back and be back on course. This is one of those major pivot points. Lincoln's second election was one of those pivot points. He was certain, absolutely certain, he was going to lose. The war went on and on and on. 600,000 Americans, if you count both sides, and both sides were Americans, died in the conflict in total. If you use today's numbers as a ratio, a percentage comparison, it'd be 6 million Americans dying in a war that takes place on our soil in America. The press, a lot of the newspapers, of course, there was no TV and social media and internet, but the newspapers just pounded him relentlessly, called him a dictator, a monster, an idiot, a chimp, a baboon, you name it. It was. You think it's nasty now? It was 10 times nastier back then. They went after his wife. She had some mental instability, so they jumped on that, and it was just relentless. And with all the death and all the carnage and all the destruction, he was certain he was going to lose. And he prepared himself for that. And the American people voted. And they voted him in over George McClellan, who was his nemesis, the general he fired twice. The one that could have stopped the war early on but didn't. Even though he had other positive attributes, being decisive was not one of them. And of all people to take his presidency would be McClellan. It was like insult to injury. But he prepared himself for that. And then it came. He won fairly decently as well. And America finished the war, patched ourselves together, and moved on. I believe this is one of those pivot points. This is one of those roads. And there's a lot of people that hated Lincoln's guts. They just couldn't stand the man. So we go back. Why Trump? Why him? Depending on what you believe in, call it providence, God's will, whatever you want to call it, this is the person that was put in this particular situation. All of us know, conservative, leftist, moderate, and everybody in between, we all know the government is way too huge and way too out of hand. And the entrenched bureaucrats in all of the departments, Department of State, the IRS, you name it, the list is endless, are trying and winning to a certain extent in running this country. They are unelected, they are unknown, they are faceless, they are nameless. They want to control the country. This bureaucracy that's out of control and worthless and to a certain extent useless. They're not elected, they don't have to answer to anybody, and that, my friends, is not a republic or a democracy. It's a horrible situation. And Donald Trump is the threat to all those people. That's why it seems like everyone is against him. He's an outsider. He doesn't care about the bureaucracy. He wants results. And they want to warm up his seat. I heard somewhere that a federal employee, a bureaucrat, has a better chance of dying while they're working under the federal government than getting fired. Think about that for a minute. These are the people that are shaping our policy, unpicked by us. Unpicked by us. It's not right. And think about the fact, all you anti-Trump people out there, he's not going to be there forever. He might be gone the end of this year. He might be gone in 4 years and 2 months. One day he's going to be gone. And all of these people will be farther and further entrenched in this bureaucracy. In fact, Dwight Eisenhower in the 1950s gave his farewell speech and said, "Be careful of the military-industrial complex." And it's true. Now that complex is 50, 60, 100 times bigger than it was, and it's infested all of the agencies and all of the employees and all of the bureaucrats. It's a humongous task to clean that out, but he's doing his best. That's why they all hate him. But someday he's going to be gone. And say you get the person you want next year or 4 years from now, what are you going to do then? What are you going to do when these people are still there and they're still making policy without your will or consent? What are you going to do then? It's like having people in the South of the United States will understand this. It's like having termites in your house. So instead of getting rid of the termites and cleaning it out, you burn the house down. Sure, you got rid of the termites. So what are you going to do now? That's a similar situation. I know it's tough for people that can't stand Donald Trump. I know a lot of people hate him and a lot of people strongly dislike him. Please take a breath. Swallow. Just take 30 seconds to calmly think about the future of this republic, the future of this country. The path that we might go down. Once we go down it, we can never come back. Make the right choice. If you can't vote for Donald Trump, vote for a third-party candidate. Write your own name in. Write in a favorite politician of your choice or a famous actor or famous movie star or entertainer. But don't vote for Joe Biden. I wish the man well. When I was a Democrat years ago, and I'm not anymore, I used to like Joe. He was kind of the goofy uncle. You know, nobody took him seriously, but he didn't do any harm. And here he is. And he's not going to be president. The people around him that do the policy that are unelected, unchosen by us, the American people, they'll be running things without our knowledge and consent. Think about that. Think about that. America first is not evil. America first is not egotistical. It's not. It's what people do. It's what leaders do. It's what family members do. Just like in your household, your family comes first. It's not self-centered. It's survival. And we are now where England was in the late 1800s. We can continue being a strong constitutional republic, or we can destroy it. We've gone this long. Please do not vote for Joe Biden. I'm telling you with all my heart and all my soul, it's hard for me to talk like this in such a public square like this, where God knows how many people are going to see it and where, and people that don't like me and people that like me and everybody in between. But I'm appealing to you for the country, for my kids and for my granddaughter and any future grandkids and the next generation, the next generation, the next generation that we don't even know about. America has always been the shining city on the hill. Think about this for a minute. I'm going to leave you with this quote. There's a gentleman from Venezuela that escaped that socialist hellhole that's all over Latin America and been tried all over the world 2, 3, 4 dozen times. Always ended up in death and destruction and misery and shattered lives. He spoke at the Republican National Convention. He said, if America falls, there'll be nowhere else to go. There'll be nowhere else in the world for people to come to be free. We are the last stop. Do not take that away from the world. Do not do that to our people and our future. And until next time, goodbye and good luck.